In the early morning hours of March 4, 2025, President Donald Trump set off a global economic shockwave by imposing steep new tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. This aggressive trade move placed a 25% duty on imports from Canada and Mexico and doubled the existing tariff on Chinese goods from 10% to 20%. The ripple effect? American businesses now face significantly higher costs on everything from lumber and steel to cars, pharmaceuticals, and food products, and those costs are likely to land squarely on the shoulders of American consumers. Honda's plant in Alliston, Ontario, rolls out nearly 400,000 vehicles each year. So why implement such sweeping tariffs that seem to raise costs for Americans? Trump argues that they're part of a broader crackdown on illegal drugs and immigration. He specifically cited fentanyl, saying it's pouring in from both the northern and southern borders. But government data paints a different picture. Almost all of the fentanyl seized by border officials in 2024 came through the southern border. Canada accounted for only a fraction of it. Nonetheless, both Canada and Mexico responded swiftly. Canada launched a $1 billion security initiative, while Mexico deployed thousands of soldiers to its border in an effort to avoid further economic punishment. Despite their efforts, the tariffs remain. According to Trump, the real motivation is to push companies to relocate manufacturing back to American soil. If companies move to the US, there are no tariffs, he proclaimed. And the strategy may be working. Honda recently announced that future production of its Civic Hybrid will move from Mexico to Indiana. This trend could potentially boost domestic industry and reduce America's dependence on foreign supply chains, an issue made painfully clear during the COVID-19 pandemic. But this isn't just about the US exerting economic pressure. Canada and Mexico are fighting back. Canada retaliated with a 25% tariff on $155 billion worth of US goods. From toilet paper and fruit to snacks and alcohol, Prime Minister Trudeau, often targeted by Trump, didn't take the tariffs lightly, and his likely successor, Chrystia Freeland, has already vowed even stronger retaliation, including a potential 100% tariff on Tesla vehicles. Across Canada, there's now a noticeable shift toward buying local. Grocery stores are emphasizing Canadian-made products, and even fast food chains are proudly showcasing the national flag. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has taken things a step further. He's threatening a surcharge on Canadian electricity exported to the U.S. states like Michigan and New York. His message was clear. If the U.S. targets Ontario, he'll respond with equal force. Still, it's important to understand the broader economic dynamics. Both Canada and Mexico depend heavily on U.S. trade. Over 75% of their exports go to the American market. For Canada, this represents nearly a fifth of its GDP. For Mexico, it's closer to 30%. Meanwhile, the U.S. only sends about 17% of its exports to Canada and 16% to Mexico, totaling just 2% of its GDP. So while American consumers will feel the pinch, the damage may be more severe for its trade partners. And then there's inflation. Tariffs act like a hidden tax. They drive up the price of imported goods, which leads to cost increases for repairs, car parts, and even used cars. Over time, this pushes wages higher as industries compete for skilled labor, which in turn raises prices across the board. If this inflation persists, the Federal Reserve may need to raise interest rates to slow it down, making loans and mortgages more expensive for everyone. While Trump has backtracked on tariffs before, like lifting metal tariffs, during his first term, this new round appears more expansive and intentional. It's not just about trade anymore. For Trump, tariffs are a way to reassert American strength on the global stage and bring manufacturing home. But whether this bold strategy helps or harms the U.S. economy in the long run remains to be seen.